Picking is the cornerstone of expression on the guitar. It's why having control of our pick is paramount. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 levels of alternate picking from beginner to advanced that's absolutely going to get your pick in control. Here we go. All right, so let's start with level 1. We're going to be using 2 fingers at a time. Now, with all of these exercises, it is very important, and you have to understand this, to push against your edge. So what that means is you don't want this to be too boring, and you don't want this to be too hard that you bail out. So we're going to talk about this throughout these exercises, but nonetheless, everybody's going to be different, but this is why we're starting at level 2 and even, or starting at level 1, but with 2 fingers. But even at this level, we can make it challenging, okay? So strict alternate picking is when we pick down and up and we don't change that pattern, okay? So important that if you're a newbie to just do this on 1 string. Make sure that you can do this easiest with just say 1 string and fingers 1 and 2. Now here are the ways that we're going to complicate this. We can do any 2 fingers, doesn't matter, but right now just sticking to 2 fingers. Of course, when we do fingers 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, you're going to feel that that gets more challenging. Do this just on 1 string if you're a new guitar player. As you start stretching out and it starts becoming boring, again, we want to push up against our edge. It means not boring, but not so difficult that you want to bail out. So bringing it to 2 strings, then bringing it to 3 strings. Once you can bring it to 2 strings, chances are you can start bringing it to other strings, okay? Fingers 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and then you can go out further from there. You could do fingers 1 and 3 or fingers 2 and 4. I like to keep a little journal and just in my mind or on paper keep up with all the different ways to do it. It's just a fun exercise to do, and it really helps you to go through all the different variations of this, okay? Take your time with this. If it's too easy, speed it up or try some fingers that are more challenging to you, which is most likely fingers 3 and 4. All right, for level 2 here, what we want to do is we want to bring in another finger. Of course, what we're doing is we're keeping it simple at first, less fingers, less to keep up with mentally, not switching strings, that sort of thing. And then again, pushing against our edge. How can we make it more difficult once we get too bored? We'll keep it right in that nice quam. So for 3 fingers, any variation of 3 fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. It does not matter how you do it, just as long as you're challenging yourself. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Now, of course, you're going to be doing triplets for this, which is a little bit of a different sound. Triplet, 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 triplet. Moving across different strings is going to be bringing another challenge to that. If you can do it without any sort of pause in between, it's going to make you a more fluid player. At first, you may not be able to do that, but that's level 2. For level 3, we're going to be bringing in a 4th finger. So any combination, and there's actually 24 variations of this that you can find in UGS Standard. You'll find a link for that below. For this, you could start off just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I suggest is there's a couple things going on here. Number 1, there's picking, right? There's just getting our picking down. And if that's what you're working on, just working on 1 string is a good thing to do. When you want to start getting into other strings, then of course you're complicating it, and that's great. Once you get that down, now what we want to do is we want to change up the pattern, because not only do we want to challenge our fingers, but we want to challenge our brain. So, you know, maybe like 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. Now, I'm not going to provide tabs for every single one of these exercises. You can find that in the 365 guitar plan. But I'm just trying to give you a basic idea of how to approach these and how to graduate to these levels that are going to make you a faster player. All right, that's level 3. For level 4, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the open string. And the reason that we might want to do this is, number one, there are many licks that we can use, fretted notes and the open string. And we want to be able to do that and switch back and forth very easily. Also, it's a great way to take those triplets like we were doing with 3 strings at a time and to turn them into 16ths by just playing an open note. So in this case here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. That sort of thing. So if you want to take your 3 notes per string and give it a 16th feel, you can do that. Of course, you can also add the open string to your 2-finger exercises in order to create triplets there. And with your 3s, with your 3 fingers, then you would be getting your 16ths. So just yet another way to complicate this, because that's what we're trying to do, right? We want to go from easy and get into those harder bits, but we want to do it in a way that's fun and in a way that we can see that progression, because if we can see that progression, we're going to keep going. We're going to feel that momentum. So level 5 is introducing string skipping. And so in this case here, instead of playing the adjacent string, we just want to skip a string. So if we were, say, playing 2-finger exercises, we might go. And so, of course, now we have to think even more. This is a great way to really get your mind to be thinking in ways that it hasn't done before. Sometimes you'll find that your hand will be faster than your brain, or you'll find that your brain is faster than your hand. And it's good to have them in tandem, if you will, because where you're going to experience frustration is if you can pick faster than your brain can think, or vice versa. When they're in tandem, when they're in sync, it's a lot more fun, because you're going to feel that forward momentum and you're not going to be stopped by one or the other. So practice this string skipping to bring it up yet another level. Okay, I said I had 5 levels for you, but I'm throwing in a bonus here, and it's what we call tremolo picking or double picking. And in this case here, we're changing it up because we're doing 2 strikes per note. Okay, so we're going to go down, up, down, up. And you could do this for any exercise. So if you wanted to do 4 notes, and of course, just starting on 1 string, really get the vibe of this, okay, before you start switching strings. If you're feeling frustration at any point, it means that you think that you are better than you've practiced. And I know that's not a very popular thing to say that these days, to say, hey, you need to practice more, but that's the case, okay? So if you feel like you should be further along than you are, then the reality is you haven't practiced yet enough to feel that forward momentum. So the way to do that is find out where your quan is, stay there, and keep pressing against that edge, but don't do it so much that you're getting frustrated. There you go, my friends. I hope you had a blast with these. If you did and you want to know more about this, check out the 365 guitar plan. I also have PDFs for you. Make sure that you check that out below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.